kids are amazing. They're very, very disciplined, and they're very enthusiastic. So there was absolutely no problem. The problem was the planning, the logistics, setting up that stage, because if you saw that image, we had like a cross-shaped stage. So because there were 14,000 of them. So how do I stay as close to as many of the kids at the same time as possible? So the way to do it was to build a stage which was in the shape of a cross, so I could walk in between the kids, and and I could give them instruction, and and I could be as close to them as possible. So that was one thing. Second thing is that it was raining on the day. So that was like in the national anthem video, and I'm going to play it back again. You'll notice that there were some raindrops in the video simply because it was raining on the day. But the kids, they were extremely enthusiastic, and they just braved it through the rain, and they recorded the national anthem. And the thing about recording the national anthem is that you cannot sit down in a relaxed manner and sing it and record. Every time you're recording the national anthem, you have to be standing up straight, at attention. So if it was any other song, we could have just got the kids to sit down in a relaxed way and and sing it. But in this case, that was not the case. And the kids also did not want to be relaxed. They wanted to be standing at attention and as steadfast as possible. And it's a testimony to the education that is available in KISS, in Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. The education is such high quality that the kids are so disciplined, they are so enthusiastic, and they want to give their best to everything that they possibly can do. And that's what I saw over here. So yeah, so the logistical parts were the difficult things, and the planning and figuring out how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that, because nobody's ever recorded 14,000 people before. Nobody's ever done a singing lesson for 14,000 people before. People have only done less than half of that, or even much lesser than that. So,
you see, I have already told that Mr. Ricky Keji is associated with our all works, activities, KIT, KISS, myself, for the last so many years. He has already told he visits our place several times. So he has become a family member. And we all know, we all are great fan of Ricky Keji. The 3-time Grammy awardee, great celebrity, music composer, everything. So our children are very much enthusiastic and interested to participate in this program under his leadership. So that has happened. As he has already told, we have been 40,000 children. Really, they are just like diamond. They are very disciplined, very nice. They are getting decent life with quality education and everything in one place, from standard 1 to doctoral program.
I don't know, when you do that, do you also encounter a certain bureaucracy?
So there are no guidelines laid down by the government, but the constitution says that the portion of the national anthem, starting from Jana Gana Mana till Jaya, till the last Jaya, it has to be 52 seconds. So that is something that is in the constitution. But it's not a hard and fast rule. You can interpret it in your own way. Like, for example, there have been versions which have stretched it, made it longer, and and there are versions which are 1 minute and 20 seconds and 1 minute 30 seconds. But the thing is that the constitution has mentioned 52 seconds for a reason. That when you are asking people to stand up, you cannot test people's patience. So the thing is that, so if you make it in 52 seconds, number one is that people will stand up for the right amount of time. Second thing is that the national anthem has to be of a certain speed to sound like an anthem. Because if you stretch it very long, then it becomes like a very emotional song or whatever, But if it's an anthem, it has to be of a certain speed. So if you do the whole thing in 52 seconds, then it will be of the correct speed where it sounds like an anthem. So that is something that I followed very strongly. Of course, there is an introduction to the anthem. Like right now, there's music, and you'll see it right now. That there's music as an intro, and it leads into the national anthem. So that is about 40-45 seconds I've done that. And then the anthem. And the reason why I've put that introduction is that it sounds good to lean into the national anthem with some, background music-ish kind of stuff. And at the same time, it gives people enough time to understand that the anthem is going to start, and it gives enough time for people to stand up. So that is the idea. But there are no hard and fast rules about it. But we, as citizens, it is our fundamental duties to respect the national anthem in the best possible way. So it is my duty that if I'm making a version of the national anthem, I have to present that version and create that version with utmost respect to the national anthem, and to ensure that it is loved by the country, and it serves its purpose of bringing everybody together.
This is my second question. I think you are someone who's obviously based out of India, and I can't recall the exact time, but it reminded me like more than a decade ago where the government had stipulated of playing of national anthems in cinema halls. So back then obviously there was difference of opinion. And, as someone obviously who's based outside of India and who experiences a different thing while entering a cinema hall in the US. So I just wanted your perspective on this whole thing.
I'm actually based in India. I'm based in Bangalore.
Okay.
So that's, of course, I travel a lot, but my home is Bangalore. And I always say this, that even though I travel a lot, my home has been Bangalore for the last, now, how many years? 38 years. So I've been educated in India, I've been educated in Bangalore, everything has been in Bangalore. And now that I travel a lot, people ask me that, are you based abroad? Then I'm like, no, my dogs are in my home in Bangalore. And you can travel with your family everywhere. But where your dogs are, that is where your home is, So my dogs are in Bangalore, so that is my home. So anyway, but to answer your question, I'll answer it anyway. I feel that the national anthem in cinema is a good idea. Simply because I believe that, the national anthem, especially like all over the world, national anthems come with a certain degree of controversy. Some people say that, we like it, some people say we don't like it, some people say that, we should change the national anthem. Some countries barely have a national anthem. Some countries have national anthem in multiple languages and they're not sure which one's the official one. In India, the national anthem is a zero controversy piece of music, where as soon as you listen to the first few notes of the national anthem, you immediately are compelled to stand up, or that is, if you can physically stand up, you're compelled to stand up, and you're compelled to respect the national anthem. And not only that, it also evokes a sense of pride of our country and a pride of our belonging. So I believe that it's a very, very powerful tune, and it's good to be reminded of that. Especially if you're going to an entertainment venue, I think it's good to be reminded of that. And the best place to play the national anthem is a theater, because if you're playing it, let's say on radio, you do not know how people are listening to it, because people could be listening to it in the car, and you can't stand up in a car, right? And people could be listening to it when they are in the shower, or people could be listening to it, while they're relaxing, or when they're extremely tired or whatever. But in a movie theater, it is a captive audience. It is an audience which is, all of them are facing one particular screen. Everybody are assembled over there, and usually nobody is sleepy before the movie starts.
Yeah.
So basically, everything is absolutely apt for the playback of a national anthem, and the sound system is amazing. So you've got a great sound system, you've got a great screen, so everything is absolutely apt for you to play the national anthem, and it's the best place to inspire people to remember that they have a country to serve.
Just one we don't use in our day-to-day life now. And is there a need for us to understand each and every word behind the national
The very
anthem?
fact that I've created an instrumental version of our national anthem shows that that you just need the feel of the national anthem. You actually don't need to go into every single nitty-gritty of every single word and all of that. Even though it adds a lot of value if you do that. I think it adds a lot of value if you know the meaning and if you get into the meaning of everything, which I have done. But the thing is that even if you do not, just the melody of it is good enough for you to evoke a sense of gratitude towards your country and a sense of duty towards your country.
Thank you so much.
Radiation of national anthem. When did this idea come into your mind that I'll get all the legends all together and I'm going to have 14,000 kids singing it? When did this idea come into your head?
So
Because this is amazing.
I had mentioned to you earlier about the whole story about how it came across that, so I just repeated in bullet points. So last year I had done the orchestral version, and then this year I decided that, after listening to that multiple times, that we have to get the Indian soul into it. So that is the reason why we got the best musicians in India to be a part of this. And then after that, inspired by the institute, because I visited the institute, that is Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences, so many times, that it just inspired me that I have to do something with the kids over here. I have to do a music class, and then, that has to culminate in them recording the national anthem. And that's how it was, so basically that. So it wasn't like a sudden aha moment where I thought we have to do all of this. It was a slow progression, and it was a slow evolution into becoming what it is right now.
हेलो माय क्वेश्चन इज टू यू इज कि ये डिजाइनिंग कैसे हुई कि ये ट्रैक जो रहेगा इसमें मुझे ये इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट चाहिए, बिकॉज यू हैव वर्क विद ऑल द लिविंग लेजेंड्स ऑफ इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक, बट उन लेजेंड्स को पर्टिकुलर स्पेस देना और साथ ही साथ उन 14,000 बच्चों को भी स्पेस देना और 52 सेकंड में इसको रैप अप भी करना.
Correct, that was a challenge for sure. So so now when it came to the legends, I'll start with that. All the legends played the whole song.
Okay.
So when I went to Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasa, he played the whole song. Same thing with Rakesh ji, same thing with Aman and Ayan ji, same thing with Jayanti ji. Everybody played the whole song. And then what happens is that I had to sit down in the studio, and of course the children, they are singing in the background throughout.
Okay, that is recorded on that live performance.
On the live, yeah, whatever you see the visuals, that was the recording of it.
Okay.
So that was so children are singing throughout, that we recorded in the stadium. So that was not a challenge because they were singing throughout, and I had to score the parts. I had to figure out what notes they're going to be singing at what point in time. Now when it came to the legendary musicians, so we had all of them record the whole anthem. Then I sat in my studio and I selected which parts are sounding good where, and just on the basis of the sound I did that. But to answer your question properly, on the 20th or the 25th, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be releasing videos, individual videos of each artist. So we're going to be releasing a video with Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasa playing the whole national anthem. Then we're going to be releasing a video of Aman and Ayan ji performing the whole national anthem. So each of these legends that you see, there's going to be a different version with each of them. So you'll be able to hear them rather than playing that one small part. You'll be hearing them playing the entire anthem.
Mr. Ricky, Talk Legends, also can connect Bollywood or Hollywood because you are doing good things in abroad and now in India also. So can we expect that kind of thing, especially for all the audience over here?
Like what do you mean?
A collaboration with the legends. I mean, not just singers, musicians, but actors coming along. In the 90s, we used to see this thing on the TV that everyone is coming together, all the legendary actors, and then they are doing something.
Yeah. No, I guess it will have to evolve. That is the whole thing. Because right now it's difficult to answer that question. Like for example, Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, I grew up listening to that particular song, and that song every time it starts playing, I get very emotional when I watch it. But then, in today's time, I may be saying something very controversial, but in today's time, do you think something like that will work? Because people just don't have any patience anymore. People want instant gratification. People want things to fit into a reel. And having a song which is about 8 or 9 minutes long. I'll give you an example. My assistant at my studio, I'm not going to name him, but a 23-year-old person. So I was giving him some references for music. And I told him that, you remember Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, and he had no idea what that song was. So the thing is that the younger generation is not sensitized to that music because they listen to a different kind of music and a different style of music. So I guess short form content is what people are consuming right now. So a song which is so long and and also the things that people are getting overly sensitized I would say over-sensitization to certain things. Like for example, Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, in my opinion, is very representative. But what will happen in today's time is that somebody will get up and say that, oh, my region is not represented, or my language is not represented. Why do you have that language? So that's another problem today, that people will always find fault with something that has been created with the best of intentions. So that is why it's a very difficult question that you've asked me. So I'm just keeping my mind out right now, and I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm saying. But I'm saying that Mile Sur Mera Tumhara in today's time would be a very, very difficult thing to do. Sure.
Hello. This is an Guinness Book of World Record. Already have done it. Will this song of yours, or whatever piece of yours, will be played in government, channels and all? Because this is something to do with the reach which we are looking at, 140 crores of people. So how you are planning to reach those people?
So as of now, the idea is that we are giving it free for all. Nobody requires any permissions to use it at an event and all of that. So the previous version that I did last year, that is the orchestral version, a lot of schools and universities took it up across India. And they used to play it for their regular assemblies, and they used to play it for the regular events and things like that. And also since ours is the constitutional version of 52 seconds, so it works really well for us that that people will end up using the song. So I don't have an answer to your question, but I'm hoping that what you're asking happens. That as many people, we want to encourage as many people to use this version of the national anthem as their version of the national anthem. But more importantly, for the members of the press, if you can encourage everybody for their on Independence Day, everybody puts out a message for Happy Independence Day. So if they can use this video as their message for Happy Independence Day, we would be very grateful. So if you can encourage as many people, because anyway it's coming out at 5 p.m. one day before Independence Day. So if you can encourage as many people to use this as their message for Independence Day on WhatsApp or on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, then that would be great.
Thing a few days back to us, and he said, "Would you be interested?" We said, "We'd be delighted, honored." He's a 3-time Grammy-winning artist. I think it's a proud moment for us. I think we are the #1 world's company, but we keep artist front and center. This is something that he has made the national anthem in his unique perspective, using some of the biggest living legends of Indian classical industry, music industry, and the 14,000 little kids that has come courtesy Dr. Samanta. I think thank you for that. You are doing incredible stuff for the state and the people and the kids. And we take cognizance of the fact music is actually, it ensures that it brings people together. And there's a powerful testament to the power of music. And this particular creative output that Ricky Cage has made will ensure it pays homage to the spirit and diversity of our country, Bharat. This particular unit is going to go live 5 o'clock on 14th of August. And I urge all of you to share, like, and spread this unique power of love. Thank you.
So I am very much happy and honored in the midst of all of you. You have been hearing a lot from the Mr. Ricky Cage. He has told the entire things. We are very much happy that Kalinga Institute of Social Science Keys, a home for 80,000 poor tribal children, 40,000 alumni, 40,000 in the campus. It is a school, it is a college, it is a university. Fully free, fully residential. Ricky Cage has been great well-wisher and friend of our entire activities, Kid Kids and myself also. So he has been visiting our place. I am very much thankful to him. This year he has chosen our children to make this record, National Anthem of India, with the entire instruments and the great personalities in music line you have seen. So I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to Ricky Cage for giving such type of opportunity to our 40,000 children at Keys. And we have also made Guinness Book of World Record. It is the 5th time for Keys to get this Guinness Book of World Record. So definitely I hope it will be very good on the day, that is the 14th August at 5 p.m. when we will release to the entire globe. So I once again express my thanks to all the great personalities associated, and also other persons, those are associated with Ricky Cage. And I am myself very much happy that our Keys children, Keys has made many things great for entire India, many awards, many accolades, and particularly it is the biggest in the world that 40,000 children in one place, as rightly has told, fully free, fully residential, 65% of them are girls. So once again I wish this entire Ricky Cage program a grand success, and will be definitely accepted by one and all after 14th August at 5 p.m. Thank you very much.